Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Norma Large, and I'm from Unichik-Squapuin Saddle Lake Cree Nation in Treaty Number 6. Today we've had a meeting, an emergency meeting of treaty chiefs from the areas of Treaty Number 6, Treaty Number 7, and Treaty Number 8. As you all know, those encompass the entire province of what you call Alberta. We're calling it an emergency meeting, of course, because of Bill 54. Bill 54 is a new legislative mechanism that the Premier of Alberta has initiated amongst a whole number of legislative mechanisms that have been put into place, including the Sovereignty Act in Alberta. These are the things that we have some severe issues for. So what we are going to do is I'll introduce you to Chief Jason Whiskey-Jack from Unichik-Squapuin Saddle Lake Cree Nation, Treaty Number 6. Chief Troy Bossman Knowlton from Piikani Nation in Treaty Number 7, the Blackfoot Treaty, which includes the Blackfoot Treaty, and Chief Billy Joe Tuckaroo Mikisew Cree from Treaty Number 8. Chief.
Tansa, semina takisaga kutawe no ni migosia kakio nisnan matson. Mina nisnaga pixqua nutsota utsumaski kutawe no ni migosia aguanma ka ptsita ya aguanma mstehenis tanote nanaskumo honesta kutawe no. I just wanted to translate that in English. I wanted to thank the Creator for giving everyone here today a day of life. And we're here to protect this land. We're here to make our statement. We're here to oppose Bill 54. So that's why we're here today. We had this emergency meeting because we needed to call upon our fellow Indian people within Treaty 6, 7, 8 to make that statement loud and clear for Danielle Smith to hear us. That we were here first. We're not going anywhere, and we'll still be here for the future generation to come. So with that, I wanted to
Okay, itama chistuko. Nistoina ko kaya utukan. Stomkto tu a Piikani, a Paksi Piikani. Good afternoon. My name is Chief Troy Bossman Knowlton. My traditional name is Bearhead. I come to you from the Piikani Nation in southern Alberta and the president of the Blackfoot Confederacy. The alarming statements and actions the province has been taken is being met head-to-head by the chiefs of Alberta. We've come together to issue a statement and to strategize on how we're going to get the message out to the Premier and to all of Alberta that this is treaty country. And any talk of separation is really insanity because there is no pathway to separation. You can have all the referendums you want, but there is no way. And for the province to not engage with First Nations, if they're going to make statements like that, really shows the respect that they have for the original inhabitants of this land. So I joined together with my brothers and sisters, the chiefs, Treaty 6, 7, and 8, as well as support from First Nations across Canada who know what we're going through. They know that the battles that we're embarking on. And what has happened today is separation. The rhetoric and insanity of separation here in Alberta has united First Nations on this land, but all across Canada from coast to coast to coast. So I want to thank you, Danielle Smith, 454. Why? Because today we stand united. We're not going anywhere. And if you feel that you have problems with First Nations, you could leave. Again.
Thank you, Chief. Good afternoon. My name is Chief Billy Joe Tuckaroo with the Mikisew Cree First Nation. I, too, can echo the sentiments of the Chief here before me, that we thank you for bringing us together as treaty people to stand and oppose this. Yesterday, you made 4 demands to the Prime Minister of Canada. That was a no-no because you gave him a time limit till the 2026 to get their things in order. But you will not do what you want without the approval of the treaty people. You talk about a reset with Canada, you must reset with the indigenous peoples of Turtle Island. Bill 54, this is what we think of you. You're garbage like that. This is treaty land, and we stand on it today. Thank you.
And with that, we will take questions at this point in time. I just wanted to let you know that we also have chiefs from Treaty 6, 7, and 8 here from a vast number of First Nations. And so I would put to you, chiefs, that if you have something to say that you want on the record, now would be a good time to do it.
Chief Kelsey Jacko, Thui Chuck Twe. We've been here from time immemorial. We're not going to go anywhere. Our treaties predate the province. When the province were made, we were considered a rebel band from what happened in the Frog Lake incident. So she has no right talking the way she is, because we are treaty people. So I'm here to represent my people for the best interests. There's no way my people should be struggling in their own country. Like I've said before, we should be the Saudis of Canada. There's no reason our people should be homeless. Our people are suffering with addictions. Our people are being overlooked. It's about time we have a seat at the table. We shouldn't be suffering in our own country. So Smith, you got to cease and desist on what you're saying, but I'll just leave it at that. Masi Cho.
Hello, my name's Trevor Mercury, Grand Chief Treaty 8 of Alberta. Yesterday we heard the press release from Daniel Smith, and in that press release we heard many times over and over the comment of sovereignty. Sovereignty does not belong with the province of Alberta or Canada. We are the true sovereign nations of Canada. We will be the only sovereign nations of Canada. That is another item that they stole from our people, is that word sovereignty. Not only are they taking our land, our resources, and everything else that belongs to us, but they're also trying to take our words. We stand against everything that Premier Smith is doing to Alberta at this point in time. We know it's just a ploy. We know it can happen. We need Albertans and Canadians that understand what is going on to stand with the First Nations people and make sure that we are heard and we are respected. Thank you.
Hi, Daniel Smith. This is Chief Gilbert Okamau of a small rural reserve First Nation. And I just wanted to address that I am also the Grand Chief for the Kitaskinau Tribal Council. And I just wanted to assure you that, all the chiefs that are here present today, we just want to make this as moving forward regarding the bill that you had brought forth. And again, as the chief had mentioned, thank you, because we are strong as sovereignty people. And I believe that we can achieve as what First Nations should be achieving today. And I just wanted to address that because I know we are serious about living life. And also, just to remind you, these lands, the land sales, stop doing, cease all the land sales that you are doing within the treaty lands. So I just wanted to address that to you.
Good afternoon. My name is Wilfred Hokanuza. I'm a chief of Tenada First Nation and also a Grand Chief of North Peace Tribal Council. The message I would like to bring forth is I'm echoing some of the concerns that I bring here from my people, and then standing united with other First Nation, and we are getting their support as well. There is developments that are happening in our traditional territory. The ongoing clearing of trees, farmland, and that's impacting our way of life. Section 35, our hunting, fishing, and trapping rights. What will there be left for the young people if we don't do anything today? But today it shows that we stand united and we will say no to further dictatorship from foreign governments. Our treaty was here before the province became a province in 1905, and we're not going anywhere. And I just want to bring home a clear message to the government. that the Crown has a responsibility. This is federal government to ensure that our obligations are met. Thank you.
Chief Andy Alec, Big Stone Cree Nation. So I also want to remind Danielle Smith that Big Stone Cree Nation is telling you to cease and desist the rhetoric that you've been putting forward, not only to this province, but also to the rest of Canada. You know, what largest nation, as one of the largest nations in Treaty 8, our people will come to oppose Bill 54. And we want to remind you that there are many other nations and treaty areas across Canada that are also in opposition. So I stand together with my brothers and sisters across Turtle Island in opposition of Bill 54.
Chief Adam from the Athabasca Chippewa First Nation and President of the Athabasca Tribal Council. In regards to Premier Smith's Bill 54 for the Sovereignty Act of separating from Canada, I'll make this point very clear that all new development and all new explorations on our traditional territories are to stop immediately, effectively, right now. Prime Minister Carney, Premier Smith, and all the premiers across this country, what I advise you to do, and you take this very seriously, you work together to develop a national water energy plan. And in that water national energy plan, you add the First Nations people part of those talks. Because when that is developed, I assure you, the rhetoric of Premier Smith will go away. But before that has to happen, all exploration on the Athabasca tribal territory stop immediately. And that means new development. We will look at our arrangements and we will make sure the wording is right. And I ask the other chiefs from other traditional territories to ask the same, that all explorations cease immediately in Alberta.
Okay, Nistwaniko, Nookskay Stomach, Chief R.A. Crowfoot. We have a lot of partnerships with other First Nations as well as non-First Nation organizations and corporations and entities. And this kind of rhetoric is not just attack on First Nations, but it's attack on all people that call Alberta home. You know, you only have to look south of the border of the chaos and the uncertainty that's going on in the world. This time, more than any time, we should be bonding together and talking about how we're going to unite as a nation versus separation as a province. So again, I just want to echo all the comments my former chief said, and we all stand together in solidarity to protect our territories, to protect our treaties, and to protect our people. Yan.
We can now take any questions from the room, and then we'll go online for any questions.
Hey, Travis McEwen, CBC News, Edmonton. I know the Premier said that she's keeping this referendum question up to Albertans, but she's pushing for unity in Canada. But I think you're making it very clear right now that you're going to challenge, if we do go down that road and there is a successful referendum, how prepared are you to challenge it, and what might you do?
I think we're prepared. I think we're prepared to challenge it in court because we have to be consulted and we have to make it known that our statement, what we're here today, what we're doing today, is for a good common reason, is to protect Alberta, protect the Albertans, protect the treaties. And that's something that the government's got to start doing, is they got to start working with us Indian people, because we were here and we're always going to be here. And we need to make that statement loud and clear, and that we're willing to battle in court if it need be. So with that, thank you.
The Premier has said that any referendum questions put on a ballot in 2026 would have to be voted on, would have to respect the treaties. How confident are you in that?
Not very confident. That's why we're here today. We've been lied to for 126 years as Treaty 8 for since 1899, and we've been defending that treaty since the day after it's been signed. So, from discussions we had today, enough is enough. The treaty people are rising up, and we will not take any more of the forked tongue that we've been lied to for the last 126 years. Thank you.
As far as the first question, how prepared are we? Many First Nations have been in litigation for many, 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 many years. Since the introduction of the White Paper and the assimilation of First Nations across Canada, we've had our guard up. Prior to that, we know that the Indian agents and the government of Canada ruled us like a concentration camp. Our people were not allowed to leave the reserve without a permit. And the overseer, the Indian agent, he dictated who lived and died, who ate, who didn't eat. And that's what we lived under. And many people don't know that. And so for the last 50 years, we've been in defense of our rights, of our land, our jurisdiction, and our identity. When you look back at the NRTA, when it was implemented in the 1930s, First Nations couldn't get a lawyer and couldn't get legal advice. Yet they made the decision on the resources of Alberta without our input. We had nothing to say. And for over 100 years, we got nothing out of those resources until those who were lucky to have it started to fight and started to challenge. And so how prepared are we? We're very prepared. Today, every one of the First Nations you see here, we've got doctors, we've got lawyers, we've got judges, we've got crown prosecutors. We're ready. We're ready for a fight. We got resources that we can either share or utilize ourselves for any litigation moving forward and any challenges we're going to have. So we're ready. And so if it comes down to it, and how confident are we? Put yourself in the moccasins of a First Nations and look at the history that we've had to go through. And ask yourself, how confident would I be for a government that's going to recognize a First Nation and give them what's rightfully theirs when today we're dealing with this in 2025? How confident are we? I'll let you answer that. But we're ready. We're ready for the fight.
First question online goes to Catherine Grakowski from Alberta Today. Catherine, you should be able to.
Has anybody from the province reached out since Bill 54 was tabled?
That's why we're here.
So I got a call from Rick Wilson yesterday, and I debated whether I should answer or not. And I let it ring a few times, and it looked like he was waiting and hoping. And before it went to answer the machine, I told my wife I was with her. I was in my vehicle. I said, "Yeah, I better just answer this." And he probably didn't like the fact that I answered because I was upset. And I said to him a number of things as far as the rhetoric that's being promoted. It's taken right out of President Trump's playbook. 8 years ago, President Trump made it okay for racists, white supremacists, and bigots to come out of their bedrooms and yell and scream on the street that they don't like brown people, they don't like black people, they don't like Mexicans. That's exactly what's happening today. You've seen the rally in Edmonton with the First Nations on one side and the non-natives on the other side. That's exactly what's happening. She's given those white supremacists, those racists, a platform now because it's okay. And that's what this referendum is going to be about. So I'm hearing from non-native people every day that we support the First Nation initiative. We support what's going on. I voted UCP, but I don't support those policies. April the 14th, the UCP government voted down the Reconciliation Implementation Act. It was Bill 209. And so Bill 209 would have given the reconciliation, the TRC articles, a pathway to be recognized and to be implemented throughout Alberta. Every UCP member voted against it, including those who sit amongst us, who smoke the pipe with us, who say the good words, who say the prayers, join us in ceremony. That's what I told Minister Wilson. I said, you come to my community. You sit across the table. You shed tears at almost every meeting. You smoke the pipe with us. And when it comes to voting for something that's going to benefit the First Nations, you vote against it. He said, Chief, I had to. There was a poison pill in there, and the bill was introduced by the opposition. I had to vote against it. I said, no, you didn't. If this bill was going to pass unanimously, which it was, there's no doubt about it, you, as having supposedly some First Nation or Indigenous, I believe he's Métis, some sort of connection to the people, the original, the Niitsitapi, the real people of Alberta, you supposedly having that connection, you could have abstained. Simple as that. Instead of towing the party line, you could have told the party, I'm going to have to either vote against or I'm going to have to abstain because of my relationship to the people and who I present myself as. But yet, you voted against it. You had nothing to say. I was choked. I'm a politician. If there's something I'm not going to support, but I know it's going to be unanimous, I'll just abstain. And that's what he could have done. But nevertheless, that's what the province of Alberta has been doing. That's the type of behind-the-scenes rhetoric and actions they've been taking against First Nation. So, I just have to say we're ready. We're moving. And you're gonna see a lot more coming from our team, of our leadership, not only here, but across Canada. And so, with that, thank you.
We've got 10 more minutes, and we will take 2 more questions. And if we can just have 1 or 2 answers rather than everybody answering, okay? Just for time. Okay, go ahead.
Next question we have from Jack Farrell from Canadian Press.
Hi, really sorry, quickly. Because I can't see from Zoom, I'm not actually sure who answered that last question, and I'm not good at matching voices. So who was just speaking? Sorry.
That was Chief Troy Bossman Knowlton from Piikani Nation Blackfoot Treaty.
Perfect, thank you. And then I have a question for Chief Adam. You had said, that you're calling for all new development and exploration to stop right now as a result of Bill 54, but also of the Premier's comments that she's made over the past week and a half here. I guess my question is, how far are you willing to escalate that? How do you enforce getting development to stop and exploration to stop right now?
We're going to go all the way with it because we are uncertain of Alberta's path, and we as treaty people were obligated by the Crown, and we are Canadians. And we're standing up for Canadians to honor the Crown, and that we can't allow the resources to continue to be developed through exploration. Those all have to stop because Alberta wants to separate and are no longer want to be part of Canada. So we as First Nations people are saying that if Alberta wants to separate and doesn't want to be part of Canada, then you're not allowed on our traditional territories anymore for exploration because we don't know who you're explorating for.
Our next question comes from Cindy Tran from the Edmonton Journal.
Sorry, my computer's being a little weird. Can everyone hear me all right?
We can, yes.
Thank you. So I just heard something through the grapevine, and I was wondering if the Chiefs were to meet with Premier Smith today. Is that still happening? And if not, is there discussions for a meeting with the Premier in the future?
Chief Kelsey Jack, Cold Lake First Nation. The meeting has been canceled until she changes her tone. Maybe in the future we'll meet if she's meaningful. No, but she has to respect us. with how she's talking right now, I don't see it, but it has been canceled.
Okay, and sorry, just to clarify, was that meeting for today, and what action do you want to see from her in order for a future meeting to occur?
Well, lift my people out of poverty, you know. We should have a revenue sharing with our nations. We never really had say of it when 1930, we weren't allowed lawyers till 1963, you know. So if you want true reconciliation, you know, give us a share of our resources. You know, our water is suffering, our animals are suffering out there. It's just, it's kind of frustrating when everybody thinks about economics and then where we're left out of it. But we do have partnerships with industry, and maybe the Parliament, Alberta government can learn off the industry, you know, with procurement obligations and everything. Like in some of these projects, we can be the prime contractors, but we're left out of the conversation. But she has to do a lot better job, right? It's very frustrating with the rhetoric she's talking right now, but I'll just leave it at that. Masi.
One more question. No, go ahead. Is it going to be in French? Or then nobody can respond?
We had a question from Radio Canada, if someone could comment in French on separatism.
How about Blackfoot?
We apologize, sir. Or,
I apologize, but I say je ne sais pas.
Does that mean anything?
thank you, everyone. I think that's all the time we have for questions. Thank you for being here today.
Very good. They'll just be winding up.